I took the phone call from the Red Cross and we made me an appointment to donate blood somewhere near because last time I made the appointment to donate blood far away in Pomona, I couldn't go. And so this is better because I have advanced endometriosis, and in case I haven't had surgery yet, and in case I'm not on my period laying down longer, like most of the day or days, like I expect to have pain for at least 5 days more than usual because I have my period with advanced endometriosis. So we made me an appointment to donate blood on the 20th. That is not an appointment. It's like a day that the blood drive vehicle will be near, and if I could walk in, um, you know, if I feel healthy enough. So that's the better way for me. Then she was trying to give me this a sooner appointment in Glendora, 3 miles away, but I having identification issues where I don't have a valid ID at the moment. My documents are expired. My driver's license is expired. My work authorization is expired in 2024. My work authorization expired in 2024, and according to the get together with the lady who had represented me in my immigration case after my body hurt my son's head, we won a deportation case where I was not guilty to with bad intent, try to off someone or hurt someone on purpose to get something from hurting them at the moment. That's what it's like, premeditated, willing. Like, I did not have that in my heart. I had like terror and like fear and like deep um like um sincere anger from like a nightmare or terror. It's like I was asleep in a terror where like a great mob was like threatening to do extreme abuse. And well, I had been a member of a worldwide religion that included millions. They tell me my spiritual family is growing rapidly from 6 million to we were now going like past 8 million worldwide. And so when Mark is there, finally saying with his words the relief, I could not hear him. I was busy and miscommunicating with I don't know who. And so I'm not guilty of people believing that they have the right to possess my brain, even when that's not convenient for me, even when I'm to give my attention to someone else who is directly in front of me. Like, I could not give my attention to who was there saying something. I was like elsewhere, and it was like a terror. And I think that if some people like that are really dead, um, good riddance. I'm sorry, but I cannot hold back my honesty. They were really terrible, and I don't know. I don't know what happened to any of the schizophrenics. Like, I don't know. Schizophrenia causes how many deaths? Mental illness related illness deaths. We're accounting for that. We were getting a body count for this county. I know in New York there were again the necessity for the mega crematory unit came up in a few years back. They had their 400 piles here and there, and so they had that mess to clean up there and make a brief report about that reached my eyes. So just to consider in my considerations, like I've always been stuck here simply thinking about the world, thinking about the masses, thinking about everything, everybody, myself, where others are busy scanning brains. Now that I know how different we are, I comprehend, like, I can only surf the internet, and that's like how much love rules. Where, oh, now I can be a little bit like them. I can be a bit more like them because now on the internet, not with my brain, like they with their brains go look at images in one another. I can never look at what they're thinking or read that. I can never know what they're thinking. But now I have the internet, and so I just scroll. I just scroll through thoughts the way they scroll through people. And that's how the lyricists say that. Oh, uh, that they move in and out of people, or move in through people, or channel someone. Like Jack Black is talking about channeling someone, and in his interview with Drew Barrymore. Oh, I love Drew Barrymore. So I hope my son is feeling okay, and I hope that I'm going to be able to get another arrangement for whatever happens that makes me feel calm. With my first funeral arrangement I had purchased with Rose Hills Mortuary, uh, I felt calm, yet I knew that my contract would become void eventually, possibly because I had plotted to kill myself, uh, instead of accept some medical treatment. Those were my beliefs. I acquired those personal beliefs that were contrary, to the common belief, was no, become a donor, list yourself as a donor, and accept medical treatment to extend your life, even if you're afraid, or even if you uh, don't believe that that's the best option for you. They'll um, sometimes if someone is unconscious, they just fix someone. They don't care if somebody didn't want to be fixed. Um, so that's why I am like I look, the catheter topic. I spoke with Annette, with Erica, about this, about the surgery. Okay, for everybody who has had surgery and they had a catheter, what is your urinary your orifice like afterwards? What it takes to numb that pain is what dispensary or what health insurance to even wear a piercing on a penis, like someone. And I exposed myself on the internet, um my nudity, because I'm so unemployed, and so much a member of a large or small community, however they want to believe themselves or behave around me, that will, to try to preserve me alive a little longer, um because I had suspected they might have killed me at the surgery in 2012 instead of let me live longer. I don't know, that paranoia. I don't know how to shake off that paranoia, because it's based on the fact that my endometriosis was led to become this severe. Um, and because statistically, some 40,000 women die each year, um, from endometriosis, from tumors in their uteruses. So the threat becomes real that I could die during surgery. Also because I've smoked, um, and because I've had a lung tumor, and I've not quit smoking, and I have had tumors in my lungs and in all my other organs ever since the Ascaris lumbricoides worms deposited. They look like cysts in MRIs or in imaging, not MRIs, but in X-rays. Um, they look like cysts, or it looks like a fake on my lungs, like a fake tuberculosis reading. Um, so it's not tuberculosis. They're larvae from the worms that, if those eggs somehow got into a stomach lining, into a stomach tract, into a digestive tract, they would become alive again. So it's really like, whoa. My disease is like chronic, became a very chronic disease that still affects the things I eat, the way I eat, how I eat differently, how I cannot withstand the acidity in the coffee anymore, though I love coffee so much, and sometimes I feel like, oh, if they kill me at the hospital, and I get like suicidal feelings, and then people are like, okay, maybe we should, yeah, try to kill her and plot and plan to kill her, so I have a constant struggle of feeling suicidal with, people in the community that agree with with, okay, yeah, let's kill her, and then people in the community that agree with, oh, we love life, love rules, let's make her live longer. And I feel like I teeter totter between those emotions. And what really happens is I get marijuana for every complaint, whether psychiatric or physical, and I get to just be unemployed and um, try to negotiate a better arrangement, because when the doctors have prescribed something to alleviate the symptoms that I have from endometriosis, or from um uh, uh oh my god, from the arthritis, pain on my bones, or from the problems with my ulcers in my digestive tract all my life, they only tell me to take Tylenol. And what they've prescribed sometimes for my stomach pain, especially when I was released from jail in 2014, in 2012. I went to jail for 4 months in 2012 after Mark's head was hurt instead of a psychiatric ward. And so when I got out of the jail and I had my stomach problems so severe from the chronic childhood disease, I went to the doctor here, up to Dr. Shari, and they were really judgmental against me. They said that I went to jail, and so now I had jail bacteria because I drank jail water from the jail system, that they have a weird water system, and that now I had these bacteria, that I will always have that bacteria in my gut, and that there's nothing I could do about that. And then she had this pill I could take, and I read the side effects of the pill, and the pill was guaranteed the pill was going to damage my liver, was going to wreck my kidneys, guaranteed, while only taking a chance at killing some of the bacteria in the gut and killing a lot of good bacteria in the gut, for a fact. So there was no guarantee of improvement, of reduction in the pain to my gut, and there was an absolute guarantee of damage to my other organs. So that's from reading the print. with the pills, I read what, 6, 10 pages of fine print. I read before I take my prescription. So that's where I resorted to being of the mentality of Christina Fully Raw and the other people that say alternative methods to cure cancer. Eat raw, fresh fruits, vegetables. Oh, miracles happen. They do. They do. And with depression, I resort to cookies. And, um, those are my joys in life. Like, yeah, it's true. I don't have a romance life, or that a lot of people give their life to a intimate partner devotion that way. But me and my lawyer that I chose to represent me, see, that's another reason I liked her, because she had her babies with a man that she looked up to, a man that was educated. They were both educated. They had their level of mentality was as level as could be. She had her head on her mind with her emotions swayed to a normal level of like sweet nice love, like sweet nice promising love. We're going to raise our kids right. We lived our lives right. And so she was coming from that, and now she was in a divorce situation where she still held a name from the man, and she her kids were now older, and she had not yet remarried. She had not remarried. She had a nice home. Her kids were all set, okay, in nice tracks and paths in life. Her ex-husband too was wherever well off. And so, you know, male behavior, to find a good man, to find a man worthy of love, to find a man who is, worthy of all the respect that they demand. Really, they're the men are the ones that want to be respected most, because when they say, "Oh, like they want," when they make a woman sing, "Want you to make me feel like I'm the only woman in the world," it's like that. The men are the one who want to feel that way, because they want to feel like they're the only man in the world to a woman, because they want to make a baby in her. So they're the ones that are most fanatic about that aptitude in life, not a female. It's them. That's them that demand that sort of, um, we're gonna invent all the holy writings from all the kinds of people, black, white, purple, yellow, indigenous, non-indigenous, and we're going to invent things like fidelity, loyalty from a woman, punishment if she doesn't want to, be a good woman and just make babies. And like they tell me they rely to primitive ways, some ways. Well, we try to the best about of our ability to say, oh no, believe in the family unit, the little family unit, please, of queens and princesses and everybody in the family. Like, oh, my baby's father is like my king and I'm like his queen, and our kids are little princesses, and that's like the love between them, the love among them, and where if others want, like, there's no room for others to intrude to say, oh, you're wrongly, inappropriately loving your child. That is not the norm. That is not what happens unless there is a mixture of the races. At that point, the children become targets of racial prejudice. And that has already been acknowledged on the internet. When I had Facebook names on the internet, I went looking for support, and I found other intelligent men, women in the world that are aware in our situation, how detrimental um, it is to ascend genetically for someone like me. Uh, so, um, um, yeah, we have social issues where I was a young mother and I was a young, attractive mother, and now I'm an older woman and I'm still unattached to a male, apart from mothering, because I had kept myself alive, when I was a teenager for the experience of the drug again. I lived for maybe um, taking a chance to die again after I became so depressed. No love of boy in the world, no boy of lady in the world, no love of any smart creature in the world. Like, I had already talked to JPL. I went to JPL on and I gave my LSD talks there with the staff, and they supported me on my LSD taking back then. They said that's good for someone like you. You have a lot of this indigenous background, and this is good for you. Makes you conscientious of of the sentient beings on the planet and the Earth's environment in a way that we look up to. Um, and it was a bit like we have looked to you guys in some ways for shaping our environment too. You're valuable to us, like, so I was made to feel appreciated and special, and like I had grown up people in high places and in academia, you know, in those buildings, if I so required. So he was so sweet, gave me his number. He said, anything you call me, you talk to me, okay? Any concern, any problem, you talk to me. And so I guess I did call him once or twice, and he set my mind on a path where I never had to call him on the phone ever again. Only like the church other churchmen went near me with the same aptitude, like, we are professional, educated, smart men. And so the educated, professional, smart men started gathering around me, you know, with the religion, with what to do with my money, with earning. I went with Annette, who were like, I thought she's a really smart lady. And like, even though supposedly her husband was like the front image of the business, I was like, no, she's the brains. And like, I really looked up to her. And so like, I just don't know what's going to happen with my body. I don't know, because I don't know if I have surgery. They put a catheter in my urethra. A man has a piercing in his penis. To withstand that pain, don't I have to go live in Mexico, be a Mexican citizen, and exercise my Mexican right to individually carry a small dose of cocaine or heroin just to help me live like a normal human being? And so that's the problem where I want to immigrate. Why? Where? To? What for? Um, because I think I tried to think good. And so what decisions I make, I'm accustomed to having caring individuals give me all this much attention. Um, I don't know how to, like, I have asked Friendly for help with this, with the demands from the schizophrenia. I have asked in shouting and anger. I have asked in pleading in fear for my life. I have asked in every mood possible. Um, about there are fewer now. There she was in the background. They asked what was. And so I'm very smart alecky, and where that reminds me of when they used to ask me when I first crossed the border. They would stand up to me, some people and in school did, maybe one or two, and said, what are you? Or what are you? And now it's like, what was? And I'm like, aren't they the same people from when we were kids? Maybe the same attitude that we're saying, well, what are you? Like condescending. And now condescending too, they say, what was? And then I'm like, the same smart alecky reply, if they let me reply. I was like, well, we're in school to learn what we are. And nowadays it's like, well, now we're 42 years old and now we know a lot more about what we are. And look, on page 604 of the book, so tells you what we are. If you're talking about a person um, that was, if you're talking about me in past tense for some reason, or I don't know what to think. See, that's where the schizophrenia involves everybody. When the schizophrenia was saying, tie her up, tie her up. The ladies on the Reddit tattooed on themselves, tie me up. So, I don't know. And they were trying to play down the pandemic like somebody else, oh, it's just a pandemic of erections. So, oh my God, how to, be civilized in a world that is so driven by our primal instincts of, sensuality. So I end up saying, like, I am the most spiritual being. I'm spiritual and I respect the holiness, the majesty of the womb. When a man and woman get together to make a new human being, like, that's the greatest bond, and a lady having that special part to make that magic possible is like, I have to give myself respect, where what men consider respect, for a lady is not the same that they consider respect for themselves. So, sometimes for themselves, promiscuity is respect, and for a lady, abstinence is respect. And in a world of equality where there's a power struggle between, men and me, I can only speak for myself. I have felt this, this inner struggle of wanting to exert male-like qualities because I don't believe that I'm made to be monogamous, although the men want the monogamy the more that they started sharing the planet, the more that they started to live together with other races, the more they wanted to claim that, oh, well, I'm the father to that one specific. So the paternity tests and the paternity issues and the um, the racist profiling was um, are the topics, that um, I would, if I'm to give a description of what I'm saying, sometimes in the narrative, um, my thoughts encompass all aspects of society. That's what happened to my brain, and since always, it's just a very